Ginawa. This is lesson 10.6 for our VTI command form. In this lesson, we will be discussing command form for singular persons in all three verb types, subtypes, VTI1, VTI2, VTI3. And then we will also be talking about positive commands and negative commands. When I first heard about negative commands, I thought, what on earth are they talking about? Isn't a command a command? Like, do it, don't do it. But I realized after it was explained that the negative command form is the don't do it command. The positive is the do it command. And it is, they're said and written differently. So they're actually quite easy, particularly VTI command form. I did a version of this video on VAI command form. I would say that VTI is actually a little bit easier, but there's a little more content. So let's see. Actually, what I should do is share my screen and show you the dictionary because, well, VTI verbs, real quick, are verb, transitive, inanimate. There is a transfer of action from a being to an object. And so there is a person who's doing an action on an it. That's how that works. So like, for example, I am eating a sandwich. I always spell this wrong. Sandwich? That doesn't look right. Sandwich. All right, so this is mean. It's present tense, so my verb is mijin. Mijin. The word for sandwich is betun again. Okay. Mijin is the verb for eating that acts on this inanimate item, which is a sandwich, and this is the it. I am eating it is how this could be understood as well. However, mijin, unlike VAI verbs, when you look it up in the dictionary, it does not have a he or a she there in the definition. So there's no person built into this verb explicitly. It is just well, there is a person. It is a command to a single person. So if you were to take this verb, peel it right out of the dictionary and just say mijin with an exclamation point, you are saying to Gin, to the person you're directly speaking to, you eat it. Eat it. Singular, you. This can only be used for one person. You're speaking to someone that you are singling out of a group or just one person who happens to be by themselves. So to clarify, we're gonna pull up the dictionary and look at some of these verbs. So let me share my screen. I wish there was a feature to search by verb type, but there is not. So here we got our VAI, VTA. Oh, there's a VTI, a Bob son. To smoke it or to smudge or sense it, like smudge it. You want to smudge something and you're telling someone smudge it. All you do is peel the word out of the dictionary and there you go. It's already in command form. Notice, if you recall, when you make a VAI verb into a command form, like namadabe, he or she is sitting, and you want someone to sit down, so you say namadabin, and you add the N sound, all VTI verbs already end in N. They are already commands to just one person. So let me browse this. I'm gonna browse VTI2 verbs. Might take a moment because there's a lot of them to load. These are the second most common. If you try to search AN ending words, it takes a long time for that page to load, unless you have a really, really fantastic internet. But as you can see, it's taking a while to sort. All right, so we're gonna go down here, and all of these VTI2s, a gudun, hang it. Let's say you want the person to hang up their coat. You've got a gudun. Ge bin sequagen, ge bin ze koagen. Agudun. Hang it up. Hang it. This is automatically command to gin, or you, singular. We search through here. Let's find another one. I think I just saw hang it upside down. Oh, actually, I'm gonna save that word for later. I think I remember someone saying like ajita means like means like upside down, and so the word for squirrel, ajitamo, is like the one that moves upside down. He moves, you know how squirrels crawl down a tree trunk face first. Anyway, random fun tidbit, and I don't recall who told me that. I apologize. I learned it a while back. Anyway, let's see. Abajit, use it. You're sitting there with a 4-year-old. Abajit tune. And they're picking up their food with their fingers, and you're like, use your fork. Abajit tune. But you can use a fork. That's a command to one child, one person. Budget to use it. Use it. I think you can see that. Actually, let me stop sharing so that way you can see my board. But anyway, my point is, if you find it in the dictionary, it's a VTI, 1, 2, or 3, it's already a command. So that was easy. So commands for VTI 1, 2, and 3 to a single person, so you do it, are just these verbs as they exist in the root form. So that's why when we're like using them in a sentence, such as he is using his fork, that we need to add some form of lean. Oda bajatun, he is using his fork, the fork. Should have an eraser. And like a scene, done. Ayayan, gassy vegan. I wish I had an eraser. Beige, I would say beige. But I say them. This thing. Sorry, I'm distracted today, clearly. Yeah, I wish like a scene. Anyway, all right, so single commands to one person. the way you find it in the dictionary. Now let's do don't commands. Let's say one of the students is trying to hang their coat up or their backpack up upside down, or their water bottle. They want to hang it up, but they're trying to do it upside down. And something's about to happen. You're like, don't hang it upside down. Because command form is great for urgent circumstances. But I would reserve it for urgency. Otherwise, as I mentioned in my document, one of my teachers told me how the excessive use of command form was leading to little kids that were parroting that command form with the adults in their lives, like their grandparents and their parents, which is disrespectful because children should not be using command form with their elders. And so they suggested that when it's not urgent, such as like when it's not something as dangerous as don't stick your finger in the outlet, then you should use the suggestive forms such as like, you should hang it right side up, or you should not hang it upside down, you should hang it upside right, stuff like that. Alrighty, so yeah, and I go over that form in the document, and that will be in the last video in this series. Anyway, let's say you're trying to tell one person, don't hang it upside down. So our template for a don't command changes it. It's similar to gawi and seen because there are two parts that sandwich the verb. So let's just stick our, let's use a VTI one. That would be dangen, actually. I'm sorry, I am disorganized. Let's go VTI 1 first, and then we'll move on in numerical order. So these are an ending verbs. Dangenan means to touch it. Dangen ends in an. So if you, and right now it's like a command to touch something. You don't want someone to touch it. So we have Gego, which means don't. Gego, dangenan, and then instead of seen, you get gain. So Gego works with gain to insist that the person not do the action. Gego dangenan gain. Don't touch it. Mujwagen. Don't touch the scissors. Because again, VTI ones refer to an it. Now, if the it was already established or is implied in the situation, you don't necessarily have to speak the name of it. Like the kid's about to pick up the scissors, you could just say, Gego dangenan gain. Don't touch it. Well, they'll stop. But if you're trying to deliver the instruction and you have a little extra time, you can just say Gego dangenan gain mujwagen. That's often how I would think of it. So that's VTI once. Nothing happens to the verb. The verb is exactly as it is found in the root dictionary. You simply put Gego ahead as its own word, and then you attach the suffix gain. The other two verb types change slightly, so we'll get into that. So verb types, VTI2s end in moon. So that verb that I mentioned earlier, ajidagudun, hang it upside down. Ajid dun. We still, if you say, right now it says hang it upside down, that's a command to one person. You don't want them to do it. Don't hang it upside down. Gego. Don't. Ajidagudun. So instead of adding gain, we drop the ending N and add cane with the K sound. Now the K and G sound are so similar that I wouldn't say to make a big deal of it. Like Gego, like Gego Duncan again, Gego Jidagudukin. When you drop the N, the K sound comes up more easily. So like, let's say you don't want someone to use it. Budget tune, that means use it. We don't want that to happen. So again, Gego. Budget to drop the N, you get came. Gego budget to came. It's kind of like a cross between a G and a K, but it's a harder K sound when you drop the N here. So with these versions, the N falls off and you get cane. Number 80. And then for our VTI 3 verbs, there's only 2 of them that I know of. Ending in, we have mijin, which means eat it. But let's say someone's about to eat some glue and you don't want them to eat it. Gego goes on the front, don't. Gego, mije, the N falls off and you get cane. Gego, mije, cane. Ago kiwasan. Don't eat the glue. Or in my case with middle schoolers, Gego mijikain masnagans. Don't eat the paper. Weiwijigan. Don't eat Gego mijikain weiwijigan. Don't eat your homework. You know. Fun times. Another VTI 3, the only one I know of. The word is naden, which means fetch it or go get it. Let's say someone's about to go get something, but they started to take off out of the circle before you dismissed the class. Like, no, not yet. You say, don't go get it. Okay, go. Nod it and falls off. Came. Okay, go nod it came. Don't go get it. Don't go fetch it. Don't fetch it. So that's how VTI 3s work. And there you have it, VTI 1, 2, and 3, already command form to one person in their root forms like you find in the dictionary, so you don't have to change them at all. And the negative form is Gego, cane for 3s, Gego, cane for 2s, and Gego, gain for VTI 1s. The N falls off in 2 and 3. The N stays in VTI 1. Anyway, thank you for listening, and that was the video for a singular person.